and welcome to a brand new episode of FREAKQUELS. I'm your guy, EJ Leeson, and with me today, as usual, the living legend, Rory Colorasi. How are you?
I like that I built up my legend by doing like horrible things to people.
Yeah, me too.
I cheat people. I've killed people.
I love it.
And now I'm a legend.
Yeah.
You don't become a legend by like working hard at like a job. You do horrible things to people, and eventually people are like, "That's cool. The guy.
That's our guy."
Infamy it has fame in there.
It does.
It does. Sure does.
Especially what I did.
And of course, Vince is not with us today. The podkeeper himself. It turns out
Crib death.
He had. He's got sibs. So, oh no. But we do have a very special guest, and he's returning for your third time.
It is my third time, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Mike Vinci, aka The Vinci. What's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
Not
Happy to be
much.
here.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
So this is like, well then, I guess.
And end of episode.
So this is your third time.
That's right.
So the last time you swore never again. What changed?
Just as a secret between us, Joe Petito isn't here this time.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. That would do
see.
it. Yeah. He gets really handsy.
It does.
He was canceled.
I thought the last time was the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you guys convinced me with candy, so.
Yeah, that's true. But Joe talks with his hands a lot.
He
right?
does.
Yeah. And so it's confusing. One thing I do want to talk about is this is actually a very special episode. It's our 1 year anniversary. This is dropping on Friday the 13th. And last year, our episode came out September 13th.
We didn't plan this.
And we did not plan that at all.
How serendipitous for a horror movie based podcast.
Very
Isn't that
cool.
wild?
1 year on Friday the 13th.
I love it. I love that. Yeah, I love that it wasn't planned. It makes it that much more. It was meant to be, sort of thing.
Mike,
Yeah.
I think I was with you when I realized this.
Yeah,
I was just like, wait a minute. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
The
here.
horror gods are smiling upon us.
But another cool thing about this date, we have very special news, and what better person to have on than the person who actually helped design and do everything for it, Mike Vinci.
Yeah.
Hey,
And-
Mike, explain to the audience what you did.
Yeah. So, FREAKQUELS, the podcast, is now going to have FREAKQUELS, the website, where you can go and purchase your favorite FREAKQUELS merch. And you know what? Today, when you were listening to this, I think you could probably go there and get something if you want to.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right. And we have like t-shirts on there.
Yep. As of right now, there's t-shirts with the logo, some pint glasses, a wine glass, and there will be some other goodies that we're going to figure out and coordinate to get out there. But if
Now-
you have requests, there's also a
Yeah,
form.
let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. All this merch made in sweatshops.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I found the dirtiest, overworked sweatshops right here locally in
Oh,
Scranton.
good.
Yeah.
Good. I hate when we outsource.
I know, right?
That's great news.
American made, right here.
Good. No, I am so excited because you actually showed us a little while ago, like the layout of the website itself, and it looks so cool. There's like pictures on there, direct things to our email and Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Dude, you did incredible work. I'm not even
appreciate
joking.
that.
It was like outstanding.
Those of you listening to this episode right now, you can go and look at it.
Yeah, that's right.
We're instructing you.
Yeah, go check it out.
Go check it out,
It
dummies.
is freakquelspodcast.com. The domain is all yours. It's there. So
wow.
on when you are listening to this, I don't have to say on this day because today, and every day that you listen to this after today,
Yeah.
It's kind of
it's
exciting.
available.
Yeah, I'm really pumped, and I can't wait because there's so many people that wanted like a T-shirt,
Yeah,
like a Freakquels T-shirt. So
and a lot more people requesting that we just stop altogether, but we can't please everyone.
Yeah, that's when you just turn up the music a little bit louder when they're talking.
exactly.
Hey EJ, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Wait, Mike, I'm sorry. Did I just
I'm
cut
sorry.
you
I
off?
was just gonna say maybe I can convince you guys to put a special coupon out for pricing on Friday the 13th for some merch.
Oh,
Ooh,
maybe.
Yeah.
We
Hell
have the technology, so I think it might
For
be a good
coops?
incentive if you're listening today, Friday the 13th, 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If our greed doesn't overwhelm us, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. 2% off.
2% on.
That's the special. If you buy today, you'll pay more.
That's right.
Really make that sweatshop.
I just can't wait to smoke cigars and have like money sign rings.
yeah.
Man, that's
That's
my
actually
dream.
being manufactured right now in that sweatshop.
Yeah.
The money rings.
Yes,
But only for us.
Yeah.
right, only
Not-
for us.
You
Yeah.
guys can't purchase that.
It's
Not
pretty
for
cool.
those stupid sweatshop kids.
Yeah. You nerds.
Hey EJ, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So we started this podcast now
Yeah.
over a year ago, technically. We
Right.
had some episodes in the bag
Right.
prior to actually launching it. We launched it September 13th. How's this year been for you?
Oh my god, what a crazy year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of awesome because this came out like, I guess we could like talk about it. I'm sure we mentioned it before a little bit.
What didn't we mention?
Exactly. This was a labor of love. It was you came to me and you're like, I just want to do something fun and creative where we could just talk about movies but goof around and riff and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, count me in. And then yeah, it was just like insane to think like, oh yeah, let's do a couple episodes, see how it goes. And then we came up with like a fun name that we were like, oh, yeah, that's something. And
That was
then,
an EJ original.
well, thanks, but
I remember I
was
wanted to
on
call it like Rory's Cool Show, and you were like, I don't know, I don't think that's a proper ring to it.
maybe we
Doesn't
could
really
call
have
it.
that X factor.
Yeah. But yeah, we had like a cool name, and then I think what really tied it, like brought it together, was of course Jess Mione designing like a really cool logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember when we were talking, and you're like, yeah, Vince said he's gonna run the sound, and I met Vince at Three Jacks, but mostly doing your film, because he did like the ADR on the film, and that's how I really got to know Vince.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love Vince. Yeah, that's cool. And he started off where he was off mic. Do you remember that? In
Yeah.
the first episode, he wasn't even like, he didn't even have a microphone.
Yeah, we were like, you're in the corner.
Stand over there.
Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Not only are we gonna make you watch these movies, but we're not gonna let you talk either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the movies.
We gave him like a 20-foot restriction. He's like, I think it's only 6 feet, right, for COVID.
And we're like, it is what we say it is.
That's what we say. It is.
Pal.
Put that plexiglass up.
Yeah.
No, but we I just remember then, like Vince being like, oh yeah, I'll watch the next movie, and then we're like, why don't you just like be in it? And because here's someone who doesn't like horror movies, who kind of hates them a little bit, and
How can we exploit that?
and I just remember thinking how funny that is, have someone watch horror movies that hates horror movies and then chime in and talk about them.
Yeah.
Like what a terrible experience for that
Yeah.
person.
It's funny, like you're a guy who has no love for horror, and we're like, hey buddy, next week, Terrifier 2.
yeah. So
Real ease them in.
Yeah. It's like you're not going into the shallow end. We are throwing you into the depths, my friend.
I just remember
Sink or swim.
some of my favorite things are like how Vince had to watch like Hellraiser 2 and just hate it. Like just full on be like, this is horrible. I don't like this experience.
And then I like that Jon Snow waited months to come on the show again to tell me he was wrong. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Metal Messiah.
Metal Messiah.
Jon Snow.
Snow. But yeah, I thought another cool
Yeah.
aspect of the show, of course, is all the cool people we were able to bring in, like, throughout this year. People that I was like, hey, I don't know if this person will do it, but let me give it a shot, you know? And so having everyone that has come on, like, every guest has been incredible. Like, I absolutely love everyone we've had on.
Except the following.
Except the following.
As an avid listener,
Yeah.
Before being a guest, I agree. I love what the show is, and having the guests come on here and talk about things, just it's great.
We would talk about that sometimes, how we were like, man, we're getting really lucky with the people that we're getting on the show, because there hasn't been like that quiet, awkward, nothing to offer guest who just wants to be on a mic and then they just don't contribute anything. Like, everybody's been very insightful and funny and like had great energy and
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And then, of course, I definitely want to give a shout out to, like, having Adam and Chris Alou on, who went and performed actual music on the show, which is, like, kind of weird
just
and insane.
Crazy. Yeah,
I was like, am I Conan O'Brien right now?
Well,
the hell is this?
I mean, that is now like an original thing for your show too. Like, that's what's so cool, because that music, this gets out, like, people are listening.
Yeah.
So, like, those are exclusively on a Freakquels podcast, those performances, and that.
And again, just like
It's
what we
special.
were saying with the quality of the guests, the music. Like, Adam Farley is just like, I don't know. He's just like a
Justin
powerhouse.
Timberlake.
Yeah, dude. He's just like, he's just ridiculously talented. And then, like, Chris Alou comes up with his guitar, and he's just like such a pure artist.
Yeah.
And he just writes this song, and he's playing it for us, and those lyrics are beautiful, and he's just wonderful. And I'm like, we just keep getting lucky with the people that we get on the show, because we're trash. Like, we don't really do. Like, we actually bring the show down, and then we get people to sort of elevate it for us.
Yeah. And another plus side is just like being, you know, in theater and getting to know a lot of, like, really cool people who are, like, extroverts in a way, and so having a lot of, like, different people that I've acted with, like Tommy Tomeo. I have to give a shout out, because that episode was, like, one of my favorites too. And he's just, like, a really good friend in general.
It's great dude.
But, like, he was just so much fun to have on, and listen to him do, like, the TJ impression of from
Hey, this is becoming like a clip show. Hey,
I
guys,
know.
remember the time when?
But then, of course, you know, like, I feel like I have to mention John and Elle Snow, of course. They were like two of our very early first guests, and who are just such an incredible, talented people. Like, she's an amazing artist and so insightful. Like, when it comes to like doing these movies, and she brings so much to the table. Like
people ask me sometimes, like, what are, like, some of my favorite episodes, and that one we did with her for Dracula, one of my top favorite episodes, mostly because of the life we gave to that bee. Here's another clip. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, they definitely always, that episode we did with John, the Hellraiser Bloodline episode, like that was like one of those things where it's like, if you're depressed, just listen to that.
Well, the great thing too is the first time we recorded it, it was gold, right? It was so funny, and it was amazing, but young Vince forgot to save it, so we lost the episode completely, and so we had to re-record it, and I was like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna be able to recapture the magic that we had from the first one. But I would say the second episode, and this is no joke, was infinitely better.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh man, I hope this is, like, still fun, and we're still able to, like, have, like, fresh comedy, and we did. And Jon Snow is another person, incredibly talented and so freaking funny, like, so funny.
Guys, have my little experience for this year.
No,
I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead.
No, I know I typically get into the goofy stuff, but I remember when I pitched the show to you, I think one of the very early things I said was that I wanted it to be like a show for everybody, because I liked the idea of like kind of like how like Johnny Carson and like Jay Leno didn't really ever like get into politics. You know what I mean? Like you didn't really know where they stood politically. Right. They were just kind of like making fun of everything, and I'm like, I really appreciate that kind of mentality. So I want it to be something that everybody could enjoy. But what was really great was that when you and I just like sat down and did that Evil Dead Rise episode, I got so excited because I was feeling that like that energy and like the riffing we were doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could get used to this.
Yeah.
You know? And why I needed that at that point was that because I haven't really talked about this much on the podcast, but up to that point, I would say that I was like really like running myself into the ground with like work, but all the creative stuff I was doing at that time, I was just doing so much stuff like with the movie and then like prepping like other stuff that I wanted to do, and I just felt like so like, you know, burnt out really. And through Freakquels, it was just like week after week after week, it was like we're, you know, making these episodes, and they were fun and they were like really creative, and we were just like laughing, and it just became like kind of like soul therapy.
Yeah,
you know,
I say that all the time.
Dude.
I always tell them, I'm like, I love doing Freakquels every week because it feels like therapy.
Yeah. And like it was this thing, like every single week we were just so lucky to have these like, I mean, we've already said it a few times, but these like remarkable people come on to the show and elevate the material. Not Mike, but but like, you know, we just had all these like really great friends come on, and we just get to spend a couple hours just laughing with them.
Yeah.
And just like creating art together. And then, you know, one day I just woke up and it was just kind of like, okay, like I'm exactly where I need to be again, like creatively. And so much of that goes to just spending time with you guys and just like laughing and stuff. And I'm like, I feel like all is where it needs to be again.
Yes.
And Freakquels is, you know, it's like that, like I need it. Like I just love it so much. And I know I rip on the audience, but that's just because of who you are.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a really great year. So this week, you know, you're hearing 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We're dropping a Friday the 13th movie on Friday the 13th, and not just a Friday the 13th movie, the Friday the 13th movie.
Correct.
I mean, I go back and forth with it between like 4 and 6 being my favorites. I just love both of those movies so much. But the 3 of us, we're in a theater. We had a whole row we bought out to watch the 40th anniversary of the movie that we're talking about today, and it was awesome.
Oh, it was such a cool experience.
On the big screen.
Yeah, I remember. Like it was Joe, I think, brought it up, right? And then another fantastic guest we always have too is Joe Petito. Which is funny because we kind of just ran into each other at the movie theater. And
that was the night that I met him as well.
Yeah. That is so crazy.
There's so many serendipitous things happening just with the 40th anniversary of the best Friday the 13th. On the same year of the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's
for
interesting.
the 1 year of this show.
Yes. Is it
like being a favorite across the crowd? Like, it's ridiculous. But then what you were just saying with Joe Petito, I met him at the movie Thanksgiving, and then we exited that theater, and you and Chris and your ladies were out there in the thing, and Joe's like, oh, I used to work with this guy. And then we met. Yeah. That's crazy.
And then, and I couldn't wait for you to come on the show because I was like, oh man, he's gonna be perfect, like a perfect fit. Because I felt like you were really funny, and then also love horror movies, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be magic.
I wish you'd say this stuff, like, you know, like I don't know, you say this stuff to his face, but when he's not around, like I don't know.
I know. I wish I should say this to people more.
I know, like it just maybe not lie to them.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
It's okay though.
But no, we all went to the movies last night.
We did.
Yes.
So it was you know, like like a 10 of us or
there were 10 of us that went last night. Yeah.
And 6 of us survived.
6 survived. Yeah. And now it's down to 3.
Yeah.
And no, but it was such a cool experience. Like we're all there. And actually, other guests of the show that I have to throw out, fan favorite Leo was there with his dad, Shane. And so
and Nina, who we're gonna get on the show at some point. Nina, if you're listening to this right now.
You know what? I would be remiss if I did not mention one episode in particular that we did this year. It was our April Fool's episode.
I was gonna say Shequels needs to get brought
Shequels has to be
Shequels
brought up.
is coming back at some point, fellas.
Agreed. We should get some Shequels merch.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
exclusive.
Absolutely.
Only available when those episodes come out.
Oh my God, that's such a great idea. And Elle will be like, "Give me that money." No, I'm just kidding. Robin will though. Yeah. But no, it was so cool that like Robin, Elle, and Maggie came in and they did the Carrie remake, and it was so cool for me to listen to that episode because we weren't here, like we were like here spiritually, but it was cool to like listen to that episode.
Just say it. We were making out in the car.
Yeah, we were kissing in the car. Yeah. But no, it was really cool to like listen to them do it, and we're hoping for year 2, definitely like more sequels. I would
year
say.
2, jeepers.
I know.
That's
Isn't
awesome.
that wild?
Look where we're at. All
It's
those
so crazy.
angry letters that we get from people, and we just keep going.
People telling us.
Are you gonna designate it as season 2?
Well, we're technically in a season 2. It's kind of going in like each year is kind of like a different season.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's kind of weird to think about how our year 2, like is about to start.
Yeah.
And after this episode, but like, what a cool year it's been, and we got like really cool shout outs from like James Duval.
Oh yeah, and Casper Van Dien.
A
couple cease and desist orders.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Only from Disney.
Yeah, Disney's not happy with us.
And then, of course, Matt Rinaldi coming on.
Pot pies he's been making our audience.
Gravy diggers.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
We had a huge audience until Matt Rinaldi came in with those pot pies. People are like, hey, I like Freakquels. I like his Gravy Digger pot pies. And they tried them, and haven't heard from them since.
Well, they died off, and
we wish them well.
Yeah.
Some of those people that didn't make it out of the Friday the 13th screening last night were all people that just died in their seats from the pot pies.
Some of the Matt Rinaldi episodes are some of my favorites too.
Yeah,
he made me laugh. Hard.
He's I know he doesn't think so, but he's got like a certain kind of hilarity about him that I've always adored.
Yeah,
that's why he's one of my favorite people on the planet.
And
so,
just like an incredible talent. Like everyone that's been on is like so talented at anything they do. Like whether it is music or acting or writing, it's really. Casey Clocker was just
God, Casey Clocker needs to come back.
Yeah, but it's just so cool to have everyone that came on, and I'm just really proud of the show.
Yeah, it's really neat that like even if this show like just stopped tonight, like if we never record another episode again, it's so cool just to forever just have these episodes I can just listen back to and just like laugh.
Yeah.
And with that being said, this is the last episode that we're going to be recording, and it didn't come a moment too soon. But
all of that being said, thank God.
Yeah, I know. God. Hey, I'm taking these stupid headphones off.
I don't need therapy anymore.
But yeah, I mean, guys, we're going to jump into the episode, but we just wanted to say thank you for hanging out with us, for all you people like Carmen, week by week sharing that. Ross Jones always sharing the episodes. Rebecca Million, girlfriend extraordinaire. My sister Caitlin always sharing stuff. All you people, Elle, John, all you people. I want to make sure I mention everybody's names, but thank you so much for just supporting this and laughing with us, and we want you back. And maybe Mike too. After this episode, we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, no, I absolutely. Yeah. I thank you guys, and everyone, and appreciate you guys. And I just I feel like Carmen broke Vince, which is great, and so I'm always grateful to Carmen for the Howling 3.
The only other thing I want to say is thank you, EJ, for just doing this with me every week and making me laugh, because again, sometimes life is hard. Sometimes like you have a bad week, a couple bad days in a row, and then you get to just hang out and laugh and talk about movies and basically do something with all this useless knowledge that we have floating around in our head. Yeah. But yeah, I love you, and I love doing this with you all the time, and I'm so looking forward to everything that we're gonna review down the road on and off camera.
Dude, ditto. Like, seriously, everything. I appreciate you.
I wish you were like, I don't feel that way.
I don't.
Thank you for being.
Yeah.
I wish I felt the same.
I know. I'm just gonna wear you down. I'll gaslight you. And get you someday.
Yeah.
You hear that, Robin?
One day.
Yeah.
No, I have to say thank you as well, because you're the one that. No.
Thank you. I suppose.
No, but I really do appreciate you reaching out and being like, let's do a project together, and I always will. I love working with you.
Sucking you into things.
Yeah, same. Like when you were like, hey, I want you to be in my movie, I'm like, I'll be there.
And then there was The Burden of Beauty.
Yeah, and that was
most of the movies I asked them to come into are ones that we can't talk about too much.
Yeah,
but I assure you, they are steamy.
They're steamy, baby.
No, honestly, there was if you had said I'm not interested, I probably wouldn't be doing a podcast right now, because I just wanted to do one with you. So
yeah, no, dude, I appreciate. I remember I was at Regal Theaters when you called me. And I was just coming out of a movie, I think, or going to see a movie.
I forget. Voicemail.
And we were just I sent you right to voicemail. I was like,
nope. Rory's calling again.
Oh God.
No, but I remember talking to you on the phone, and I was sitting in the parking lot, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm down. Let's do it. And so I'm forever grateful for the experience, because it's been such a great first year of FREAKQUELS. Yeah.
And with that being said, let's get into why we're here today, guys.
Yeah. The movie we watched for this podcast, of course, is Friday the 13th, the final chapter, or Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter.
Not to be confused with Saw, the final chapter.
Yeah. But the cool thing is, a lot of the creatives going into this thought it was going to be the last movie. Yeah. The weird thing about it, though, it didn't feel like a story that was like, oh, this is a good send-off. Did it? Or did you?
No,
do you think so?
No, I mean, what else are we gonna do with him?
Well, I mean, just he does come in hot.
He does.
Like,
yeah,
he's rampaging right from the beginning. So I think that he's like, This is it. I gotta show him what I'm worth.
Yeah.
On the topic of the title, the final chapter, is it too late to sue?
Probably.
You know, that's false advertising right there.
Yeah.
You know, I may not have won my suit against the people who made the Never-Ending Story, but I'll get these guys.
These bastards are going down.
In fact, it did end.
Yeah. So what are you doing? This is like an hour and a half. Never ending my ass.
Part 2? I don't understand.
I don't
This
get
is a dead franchise.
The New Blood? What?
Yeah, what's going on? A new beginning? It's how you're gonna weasel your way out of that? I guess it works.
It worked. But no, this movie, we all went to see, of course. We, reiterating this, but we all went to see it together last night. And what a cool way to watch this movie on the big screen with everybody that has been on the podcast at one point or another, right? Or will be.
It was like our lives were going off the air.
Yeah.
It's like, here's all your favorites.
We're like, yay!
It was like weird when I was driving home and I looked up at the sky and there were credits.
It's like, what's going on here?
Did you guys see the moon on Tuesday? It was like orange. I'm sure
really
there's
weird.
a specific name for it.
It's a blood moon.
Was it?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I don't know. If it is.
Did you
It
know
would have
that?
been awesome. If you almost got me, you could have just went with it.
I should have. Ah, damn it.
I just thought it was weird when I looked up and saw that Jim Jarmusch directed my life.
That's who did?
No, yeah,
that's
that was weird.
The director you got?
I just the first director that popped into my head.
Jim Jarmusch.
I don't know why.
Yeah, he sounds legit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Anyone say Dead Man or whatever the fuck that movie's called? Anyway.
Is he a director?
He's one of them.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I was going to say, let's get into the film.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about it. So the film starts with a recap of the first 3 movies. And it's like the first 5 minutes of this film is basically the recap of Friday the 13th, part 1 through 3.
And I love it.
Yeah.
It's like,
cool.
it really establishes that thing I liked about those earlier movies. Some of my favorite kind of horror, it's considered campfire horror. Right?
Yeah.
You know? Just a bunch of, like, the legend of Jason.
Yep. I agree.
And it shows off his legendary kills. His mother and him killing off in 1 and 2. And Pamela gets some awesome kills.
Yeah. She's awesome.
She's great. I mean, Betsy Palmer is like one of the first horror people we met. That first time we ever went to a horror convention, she was there, and she was like wearing the same sweater from like the movie and stuff. And I was just like, this is awesome.
Did I ever show you the photo that I have of her kissing me on the cheek?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She was so friggin' nice. I remember like I went up to her table and it was like literally like she Dukes of Hazzarded it across the table.
Yeah.
And she just came over. She gave me like a big hug and a little kiss on the cheek and stuff. And I'm like, do you want to be my grandma? Because I'm in.
I love you. To like see her in person, she was like beautiful still.
Yeah,
like because she had to be like in her 70s when we met her, maybe.
R.I.P.
Yeah, she was
Betsy Palmer.
Awesome though.
How old was
Horror's
she
mom.
in the first one.
I think she was like in her 40s or 50s.
Yeah, she was like, she was, I would say, at the very early 40s.
Yeah.
Is it fair to refer to her as like horror's mom?
Definitely.
The mother of horror.
She acted with James Dean. Like,
yeah.
I remember I met Ari Lehman and we were talking and he was like, yeah, she did like stuff with James Dean, which is insane. Like she, maybe it was like stage stuff, but she, there's pictures of her and James Dean acting together, which is like, to think about that, like here's someone who worked with this legend. And then the first movie came around, and she did not really want to do the movie. Yeah. She's like, this script kind of sucks. It's like a reverse Psycho. And then at one point, she's like, well, I need a new car. I'll just do it. Yeah. But then that became like...
James ruined my last car.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Wah, wah.
No, damn it. So, but Betsy Palmer ends up becoming like this horror movie legend after doing the first Friday the 13th. And so that's what she really, I would say, is best known for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy because I can't imagine she thought that would happen.
Right.
Because she had she was like a legit actress. I remember Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel were super pissed off at her for doing this movie. I think I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard Siskel was like, if you want to send her angry letters for being in this movie, here's her address.
Oh,
it was some
man.
weird
Shut
thing
up.
like that. Yeah, they hated those movies.
Yeah, that's so funny to me.
I know, but for the record, I love Roger Ebert. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna besmirch that man's memory. But I don't think they got it.
No. Yeah.
I don't
they
know if
weren't
they-
the audience for it.
No. They're definitely not.
They're like, I just saw Little Big Man, and it was an incredible movie. And then they're like, oh, now Friday the 13th. And I could see the
I could say this for certain right now, Raj. This is not Kramer versus Kramer.
But so we see this whole flashback of the first 3 movies, and I love that they use like the campfire tale from the part 2, which it sets up like the mother and then Jason himself, and then in part 2 Jason has the potato sack
on his head, yeah.
And then we see how that plays out, and then we see how Friday 3 plays out, where he gets the axe to the noggin, and that is where this movie picks up immediately. Yeah. So paramedics arrive to pick up all the dead bodies from part 3, including Jason himself. And I love the EMT's line, all dead, some emergency.
I know.
It's like one of my favorite lines in this. I know. Some emergency. That paramedic, though, is actually really outstanding.
Yeah.
I love him in this movie.
I buy him as a actual, like, beaten down paramedic.
Yeah.
I do have to mention this. I made a mental note last night to bring it up. Anyone catch out that sweet deer ornament thing that's out in the yard?
Yeah.
You guys catch that?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, there's like this cool little deer statue outside. I guess it's supposed to be like Higgins Haven. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Part 3?
Higgins. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some useless shit for you.
So they load up Jason and they take him to the hospital. And at the hospital, we meet my main man, more guy, Axel.
Axel.
Axel, M.E., medical examiner.
Who's sort of like Bud from Halloween 2.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like they're related.
They're
cousins. Characters.
Yeah,
you know?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have to be. He's an uncle. No, they're cousins. They would be like cousins.
Cousins, I would say.
So not only does he maybe like necrophilia, at one point
He's an equal opportunity lover.
She was attractive. Was?
Still
She
is.
still is.
You're like, oh,
Axel.
but that's our Axel. He like
But,
turns to the camera, shrugs and smiles.
And he writes, and so he's like, okay, yeah, I'll accept, you taking the bodies in, right? And so he's eating a sandwich. He has like mayonnaise like on the side of his mouth, and he's like, what should I do with my sandwich? I'll just put it on top of the dead body.
Which is Jason. That's
Which
the
is
body.
Jason, yeah. And he's like, yeah, she looks all right. And he's like looking at the EMT like, you like what you're seeing, right? Or you like what I'm talking about? And she doesn't. And our favorite EMT, he goes, just sign the copy. The top copy's yours. You know? And I like,
real nice.
yeah, real nice. What I miss, so this is what I kind of miss about new movies, is they always hire actors that are kind of like, I don't know, like too good looking or like, I don't know.
call them CW actors.
Yeah, like, and I feel like this EMT is like a perfect casting.
They had like,
because it's not like a perfect actor, but he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It's like remember in the fourth Halloween,
Yeah.
like Earl's Bar.
Yeah.
Like all those guys, they just look like real people.
Yeah.
And it makes it's easier to like feel immersed in the world of the movie.
Yes.
When everybody looks like real people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have your like stars be young, attractive people, but like in the world, the guys like that EMT person,
it's like perfect.
It's great.
Did you
great casting.
not find him attractive? Ryan?
I was very attracted.
Okay,
to
I was
him.
gonna say I was feeling a vibe.
You were
Yeah.
pretty close to me in the theater, so you must have heard me licking my lips.
Yes.
Yeah. Going. Just drooling.
Wait, EJ, do the noise.
I hear the dripping. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
EJ,
You're the dripping and drooling, and he's like.
Thank you.
So, not only is Axel maybe into necrophilia, but he also bribes nurses with drugs to have sex, which one agrees to meet him, and they start to.
Also possibly related to that dirtbag that works at the hospital in Nightmare 3.
Oh, yeah.
Why are there all these scumbag people working in the hospitals in these movies?
What the fuck is that about?
He's like trying to give Taryn drugs in Nightmare 3.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, baby, you want to go to Drug Town, USA? I forgot what the line is.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Axel uses the same line.
Yeah.
And then,
Got
so
some
they
Percocet.
get alone. They're alone in this dark room and kind of making out. Well, shut my mouth. Make out. I love how they do that. He's like, they like say it to each other, like shut my mouth, and then they just start making out.
They hate each other, but
Yeah,
There's something there, though.
there's something there, and they make out near the corpse of Jason. And when
To
Jason
set the mood.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, Jason's hand falls down and scares them. And that's where we get this line, this awesome line from Axel. Jesus, Christmas!
He's like, jumping Jesus. Christmas shit.
So the nurse leaves.
That had to have been some weird form of improv.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's not though. Like I hope the screenwriter wrote all that nonsense.
What I really want you to say is, "Jumpin' Jesus."
Jumpin' Jesus. Jesus Christmas. So the nurse.
What does she call him at one point? She's like, "You're the Super Bowl of self-abuse."
Yeah,
that's a great line.
Yeah, a fantastic line. So the nurse leaves, and we see Axel turns on his favorite video, and
which is what?
I don't know.
What is that video?
It's at first I thought it was like, oh, is this like a music video when I was younger? And then I was like,
nope.
I don't think that's. Is it an aerobics video?
So there is a lot of 80s aerobics videos that are exactly that. But the thing that's very confusing is that this is on television. This is not a channel because they keep flipping back and forth. And it's also the same 15 seconds for the several minutes.
Yeah, it's like a weird loop.
And Axel needs it to get himself into the mood.
Right. So not only are they right by Jason, but also he keeps on switching it back to the lady. Hello,
yeah,
ladies.
he's like kissing the girl, the nurse, and then he's like turns the channel back on. He's like, all right. It's something for him.
Yeah,
you're right though. There were a lot of exercise videos. There's something I saw on Red Letter Media. They covered an exercise video that Leanna Quigley instructed. Very similar. But all the people were like zombies.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, maybe we can do that episode on FREAKQUELS.
You know what? Actually, I think I came across. I didn't watch it, but it was on Tubi. I think it was like because I was watching Return of the Living Dead, right? The
first one should.
And one of the suggestions that popped up is like her workout videos, and I'm not even joking. It was really down there. It was like, oh, that's weird.
Also, you could watch a movie, Death Spa. That was
yeah, Tubi.
Hey, check out our Death Spa episode of FREAKQUELS,
which is fantastic,
starring Joe Petito and the Vinci.
So Axel gets yelled at by the nurse. She leaves. So we see Axel. He sits down and he puts on his favorite aerobics video, and then he gets taken out in a pretty interesting way where Jason like cuts his neck and then twists his head backwards. Like, all right, excessive.
Yeah, that's kind of rad though.
It is rad. It's a really cool looking kill.
So I just want to get this out of the way up front about the kills in this movie. Number one, top-notch Tom Savini work.
Yes.
For sure. So it is very well known that the MPAA had it out for the Friday the 13th movies. When they were making them, they were always just like, the gore that you put in these movies, scale it back, scaling it back. So this movie, I know it got fucked with, but for the betterment of the movie. Yeah. Because, like, they'll show you just enough, and then they cut it, and the cuts are like, they just punch you.
So good.
Yeah, like all the little cuts where the violence occurs, you see just enough to make it, and then they use like these like weird sounds on the cuts.
Yeah,
and it's just great.
It's like a screeching metal sound. Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, I was noticing that last night. I was just like, if this was just a little bit more excessive, I don't think I would have liked it as much.
Right. It was like the perfect execution.
Yeah. Pardon the pun.
So we also see where the nurse, she's in the bedroom and she drops a bunch of meds and they smash. And she's like, oh, jeepers creepers. And she's like yelling at Axel still, right? Like he could hear her. And then she's like sweeping it up. The lights go out. And then we see where this poor nurse, she meets her end as well. And I was really sad because I was like, did she have to die? Because she seemed like she was all right. I mean, not really. Okay. Well. So the next day.
Well, I mean, she doesn't follow she's not a virgin.
Right.
So, I mean, she has to die.
Yeah, that's right.
She should have gotten away, right? And like maybe like goes down to a bar afterwards and just starts thinking that like maybe Axel wasn't such a bad guy in comparison.
Yeah.
Like it gives her perspective that men can be far worse.
Right.
And then she goes back. And then she still meets her end.
Yeah.
I forgot my purse. I can't pay for my booze. Go on.
So the next day, we meet the Jarvis family. We meet Mrs. Jarvis and her kids, Trish and Tommy Jarvis. Tommy played by the great Corey Feldman. Super young. Is this his like second or third movie?
Yeah, one of the most terrific kid actors ever.
He's outstanding.
Yeah, Hey, actually, that entire family, the Friday the 13th movies didn't exactly excel at characterization. Nope. But the Jarvis family feels like a family. Yes. I actually really like them. Mostly Gordon the dog. Yeah. If you thought I was going to get out of this episode without mentioning that dog.
Oh, we're going to mention that dog a lot.
He is so cute, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
And he'll sign you autographs.
Yeah. It's just a paw print dipped in Sharpie ink.
I have an original Gordon framed at my house.
Oh, that's awesome.
But but in all seriousness, though, that dog is literally acting in the movie.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
He's really
good.
It
really does. But yeah, we have Tommy Jarvis, and he's a pretty interesting kid. Oh, yeah. He likes video games and making monster masks. And we see where his mom is like kind of pestering him a little bit. She's like, "You got to get downtown and get to town and get a haircut." He's like, "Oh, come on, Mom." Yeah.
See, that's when he had like the alien mask on.
Yeah.
I leaned over to Beck at one point. I'm like, what if that was just his face in this movie?
This whole movie,
just like a little alien boy.
I don't have hair. Oh, quirky clockwork.
What a dig, Mom.
So over to the 16s who are renting the cabin next door to the Jarvises. Trish is asking her mom. She's like, "Oh, what about the summer house next door?" She's like, "Oh yeah, it's being rented out to a bunch of teenagers." So we cut over to them.
Yes.
And they're driving to Crystal Lake. There's Teddy, who's one note, one joke. We have Jimmy.
One of the greatest performances of all time of somebody being high.
Oh, absolutely.
He's definitely high in those scenes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Outstanding.
When we get there, yes.
Yeah. Jimmy, played by the great Crispin Glover.
The legend.
Steals it. Yeah. Like, he steals the movie.
Crispin Glover is on a different level.
Yeah. Oh, he's on a different level from the rest of them. Yes. Like, insane. Like, he's so good.
Can I tell you a real quick side story? Yeah. I met Crispin Glover once, and I went there to get, like, something signed, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't just going to let it be that easy for you. He had to, before he would sign anything, he had to act out his book of poetry that he wrote. And then he showed you this movie called What Is It? And you would ask yourself that question while watching the movie. It's something he made. And it was like it's just look it up. I don't even want to say anything. I will not, but I'll never do it justice. It's very bizarre. Look it up. But then afterwards I got a photo with him.
Yeah.
And I have to show it to you at some point because if you can believe it, Crispin Glover is weird in the photo. But I love him quite a bit.
He's so
Look
good
up Mr. Farr. That's
when
all I
I see him, I cannot help. It's his worst role. I cannot help but think of him as the Charlie's Angels bad guy. That pulls the hair and sniffs it.
Yeah.
Like I just see him. I'm just like imagine him doing that. Like I think that was something he brought to the character.
Yeah.
Like, what if I grab the girl's hair and then I just
sniff it?
He just wasn't aware they were filming.
Right. Yeah. Those were
they're
just
like, oh, that's weird. I guess we can do something with
that.
that.
We should probably keep that.
Yeah.
But he's such a phenomenal, but weird, definitely a weird person.
No, we don't have suits.
It's such a great line. But then we also meet the other friends. We have a discount Rob Lowe, which is Doug.
Or Jared Leto, which
Jared Leto.
Go with.
Yeah. You look
maybe
definitely
he's a kid of this.
Yeah. And we have Samantha, who's kind of like the love interest to cool guy Paul, the driver. And then we have Sarah, who seems like she's kind of like the final girl.
She should have exactly.
Right?
I was thinking that while I was watching the movie. I'm like, she could have very easily have been like the final girl in this movie.
They really did
all the
set
traits.
it up mostly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she has like she fits all the check marks of a final girl. So
Do you think that was like they were trying to subvert your expectations
I think so
with that?
I think they were trying to be like,
Johnson?
She's gonna be like your final girl, and then it's like, no, it's this person.
But then she's like, you want to sleep in the bottom bunk with me, and you're like, well,
no, she's dying.
Technically, she kind of is the final of the friends.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
She wasn't the final girl, but she was second to final.
Yeah, she got pretty far.
She did. Not too bad.
Was she before the mom?
I think she was after, right? She was after the mom.
Yeah, she was after the mom.
So let's just call her the Buzz Aldrin of Final Girls.
Yeah, she did it. So they get lost for a brief second, and Sarah spots the grave of Pamela Voorhees, which is
buried on the side of the road.
Right.
I just a few years ago, she was murdering people, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you know what? We should still respect the dead.
Yeah.
You feel like somebody would have written like "fuck you" on the gravestone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a very
burn in
nice
hell.
looking.
Yeah.
It's the best looking tombstone in that cemetery. It just there's things that don't add up.
Do you think it was vandalized quite a bit, and Jason always just shows up and cleans it?
Scuffs it.
That's why he's always killing everybody. Every person is just like writes on there some derogatory thing to his mother.
He's like, son of a bitch.
Oh,
that's fucking bad.
Where you live, Higgins Haven? I'll see you later.
And he's just using their money to buy more soap and water.
Would it be awesome if you just saw him like cleaning the grave, wiping his brow?
And Joe Pesci in it, just like circle.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a bad guy, but you make me.
Yeah. So we see where discount Jared Leto gets them back on track, and they pass the hitchhiker who is looking for a ride to Canada.
Yep.
Canada or love, I think her sign says.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And as soon as they drive by, they yell, hey, baby, you got a sister? And so she flips the sign around, which says "fuck you" on it, and she's like, whatever. So she sits down, and she doesn't know what to do, and she awkwardly looks at her bag at the banana.
Very awkward.
Yeah, it's a very, unnatural order of events. Like, she, is like, okay, I'll have a banana.
And that banana was up on deck, too. I mean, It was like, she knew she was going to be eating that any minute. It wasn't like, I need to ponder this. It was...
Right.
It was there.
Yeah.
I wish she opened up a jacket that was just lined with bananas.
And
Or
she had
just
to
fruit.
decide which one to. She's
Yeah.
looking at it like, Wednesday banana.
Not quite ripe.
She had a portable blender, and she's taking out
A little ninja blender.
Yeah. So then, as she's eating her banana, Jason shows up and slits her throat, and we see her hand squish the banana out of the peel, which is a cool shot.
It's awesome, and I'll
I
never
actually
look
like
at bananas the same way again.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's a good kill. I actually like that one. So the Jarvis family, meanwhile, they're eating dinner, and they get a visit from Gordon the dog. And what a great actor, by the way.
Terrific.
Just want to throw that back out there. And yeah, and that's when the group arrives next door, and they get into the house, and we see this little discussion between Sam and Sarah discuss doing it, and Sam's like, "Yeah, I got a reputation when I was in 6th grade,"
And you're just like, excuse me?
and then she's like,
Sweet brag.
yeah. Did Paul hear about your reputation? And she's like, yeah, he likes doing it and he thinks I'm great, so that's why I want to keep doing it. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys have the best relationship.
I know, it seems like the foundation's a little shaky.
Yeah. I was like, all right.
It's a weird exchange. I don't know why they had to go with, I've had it since 6th grade.
Yeah.
Because I think back to being in 6th grade, and I'm like, you're like a child. Yeah.
Hey, what Pokemon card did you get?
Yeah. I was like, I was worried about slammers and pogs.
Pogs.
All the hard things in life.
Yeah.
Which pog do I buy, and which slammer do I want to show my friends?
I hope I get a yin yang one.
Ooh, the yin yang. That's when you
Or
knew
a
you were.
skull slammer.
I had a sparkly one, the yin yang one. Those
Yeah.
silver sparkles. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. That night,
Bragger.
quit
Since
showing
6th
up.
grade.
Yeah.
Shit.
That night, little Tommy Jarvis has a moment where he sees a girl undressing. This is Corey Feldman's not best acting, but so skilled as a little kid actor.
Yeah.
And it really felt like a kid losing his mind, seeing something he shouldn't for the first time, or just excitement in general.
But
Like,
doesn't
he
even
captured
understand
it so
why
well.
he's excited. It's just kind of like, because
he's like, oh my god, this is and the way he squeals is so funny.
Yeah.
So what's really funny is Sam, my wife, this is her second time seeing this movie, which the first time she saw it was about 3 weeks ago before this was planned for us to go see this. So of course she was like, the same one again. And yes, it's the best one, so yes. But so I asked her last night, I was like, what are a few things that really you noticed in the movie that I should bring up? And she's like, when Corey Feldman is freaking out when he's about to see boobs.
Yeah.
She's like, is that how boys react? I'm like, little boys like that? Yeah, I remember when I was watching squiggly channels and I saw a nipple and I'd be like,
yeah.
I didn't jump
Clutching
like
your
that.
pearls.
I didn't jump like that, but I would like extend my feet like, ooh.
Oh,
Look at that. That
yeah.
slightly off-green nipple I saw in the channel that we don't get.
Oh, Hitler.
Yeah.
As a man who doesn't have feelings,
Yeah.
I see things and I'm just like, I wish I could care. But
Yeah. I also wish I probably didn't say all that.
Oh, no.
Recording.
yeah,
No.
it's gonna be our cold opening.
Yeah. So that night we see Tommy, and he's losing his mind, and his mom walks in, so he pretends he's sleeping, which I think we're all kind of guilty of doing something like where we're like trying to watch TV or a horror movie in my case, and my mom would like I would hear her walking towards my room. I'm like, and like shut it off and be like pretend I'm sleeping. But I would do that all the time.
You know what I really wanted to happen in that scene? I wanted the mom to see it and then just start acting exactly like Corey Feldman.
Oh my god!
Or just be at the window ledge, just like,
Yeah.
Oh my stars!
I would love it if she was like, oh my god, oh. She was just like making all these weird
Or if she
noises.
went next door and start giving them tips.
Yeah, she's like, oh guys, no.
No.
The way you
Slower.
should undress in front of a window is like this.
And then like Corey Feldman just like holding the blanket up to his chin, wide-eyed.
what do I do?
I feel like this is
all of
gonna
this.
fuck me up the rest of my life.
But I can't stop watching.
Oh
I
my
don't want to
God.
have any more Jarvis sandwiches.
I'm not into this.
That's an actual thing from the goddamn movie, by the
Yeah,
way.
they hug them.
Yeah, they call it a Jarvis sandwich. I'm not just
Yeah.
some sick pervert.
And it's like the sister and the mom like go in for a Jarvis, like a little Tommy sandwich.
But after
Weird.
that
All right,
night,
now it's
there
gross.
was-
Now
Now it's
that
like-
we're talking about all this.
Yeah, now it's
after that night, the Jarvis sandwiches were never the same.
Yeah. Ugh. So the group go to the lake the next day, and they come across the twins, Tina and
Doublemint
Terry.
Oh,
twins.
tits, you said.
No, that's a Tina
They,
and
they
Terry.
were in commercials, right? The Doublemint twins?
Were they the
Yeah.
Doublemint twins?
Yeah, they
I
were.
had no idea.
True story.
You know,
I know
one
they're
of them
from England.
auditioned to be Samantha, but when they found out that she had a twin, they're like, actually.
Yeah?
That's when they wrote that in, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, I heard that they were going to give her the part, but they forgot which one was the person that they wanted to give the part to, so they're like, we'll
do
make
both.
something up for you.
Yeah.
Just show up.
Yeah,
Just show
it'll
up
be
at
good.
noon
We'll
and
figure
it
something out.
So they joined the group for a little skinny dipping in the lake, and that's when Tommy and his sister, they pull up in the car. Gordon jumps out, so Tommy chases Gordon, the dog, down to the lake, and he's like, oh, right, because everyone's basically...
What the hell kind of summer is this?
Yeah, this is going to be a great summer.
Oh, boy.
And
That's
Trish
it.
quickly ushers Tommy out of there.
I thought it was cool when Gordon covered his eyes.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah. And I do like when Tommy's like, come on, Gordon, we're too young to see this stuff.
Dog's like, speak for yourself.
I'm 21 in dog years, brother.
You
When
see
I was
me as a
your age,
3-year-old.
I was wiping my ass with pine cones.
Yeah. So driving back, the Jarvis family have some car issues, and that's when they meet the nomad, Rob,
Ooh.
who's hunting for bears. And I was like, what an asshole.
I know.
What are you hunting for? Bears? And I'm like, dick.
I know. I'd be like, what?
Why? What did they do to you?
But
Right?
Tommy calls him out, too.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no bears out here, stupid.
Yeah, idiot.
Freaking idiot. And
Well,
then
it's like weird because he's like, I'm hunting for bears. Like, you can't hunt bears. Like, what about teenagers? You got any teenagers out here?
yeah, how many teenagers are out here right now?
Did that hit you in the face at all?
Yeah, I'm like
Okay.
he
Because he's like, yo, you got any sexy teens out here?
yeah, his segues are terrible.
Yeah. Like, if I was Trish, I'd be like, what?
What? Why are you asking? Like, you went from bears to teens?
Yeah, like, what?
I don't know.
But
What's
she
going
wasn't
on?
questioning anything. Instead, she was like, my
She was
house.
into him. Yeah.
You want to come to my house?
Hey, to be fair, I'd be into him too.
Yeah, they give him a ride back to where they live, and they invite him in, and Tommy's like, hey, come check out my room and all my masks. And we all kind of like laughed in the theater last night because he's like, come on up to my room, and he just like drags him up to his room while the mom's sitting there on the couch, and the mom is just like, hi, what's happening? You know?
No, don't worry, I'm just going up to your son's room.
I'm holding his hand, and remember, it's weird after the Java sandwich again,
Yeah. It's just So meanwhile, we see the twins are back at the summer house with Crispin Glover and the others, and we get to experience Crispin at his most crispy and watch the best dance of all time.
It is the best dance in any movie ever.
I think it is. I think it really is.
The original music for it, I guess, was like Back in Black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they couldn't secure the rights,
so they got Lion.
And it's so awesome.
Which is so much better because it's like offbeat and it doesn't fit like the music at all.
I'm just picturing that poor actress right across from him being like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah. She's like
trying.
Yeah, she's trying to like salvage it and dance like a normal like two-step dance, and you have Crispin Glover just like throwing his arms wildly and kicking in the air and just like
supposedly that's actually
twitching.
How he danced. Like that's how he sources. I don't know where I read it online, so it's definitely true, but he would go to the clubs, and that's how he would dance in real life. So that wasn't like a thing he was doing for the character.
Are you implying that Crispin Glover is weird?
No, not
okay.
I'm just saying that he's got some skills when it comes to
yes. He's got dancing skills, man. So, I
always have to ask you that question on these episodes. There was some dancing.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that came from. That's an
EJ question. Yeah.
And that dancing is the best dancing in cinematic history. As far as horror movies, I can do it. Yeah.
So for all the people out there listening, if you'll just like leave us like a bunch of reviews, right? Yeah. Positive reviews really help boost us in the old algorithm. Maybe we'll post a video of EJ doing the Crispin Glover dance.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh
yes.
Man.
Yes. Let's do it.
You heard it here first. It's recorded.
Let's
it's gold.
Do it. I'm so into that.
So yeah, if we get a good number of reviews and some 5 stars, you'll get EJ dancing. And I'm going to tell you this, for those of you who don't know EJ, who are just listening to the show, you don't know what you're in for.
Yeah.
EJ dancing is sort of like the equivalent of taking a bunch of like painkillers. You're just like, I feel good. And all the pain's gone.
We should definitely set like a impossible goal of like 1.
Just let's do that.
If we get a single review, you'll get that video.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. I'll put it
only if we get the review though.
Yes, absolutely. So we also get where
and just if you really want us to know that this is what you want, just make sure that you, somewhere in the
email
review,
us.
Somewhere in the review, just write like I want dancing Leeson, bang bang Leeson,
bang bang Leeson,
bang bang Leeson.
Yeah. The milkman,
as they used to call me.
As they used to call me.
At the airport.
Yeah, at the airport. So we have, he's dancing, he's having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. But then effing Paul
comes in with like...
turns it off.
What's that music he's playing?
And he puts on some slow music from like the 1930s or 40s. It's like old. It's like super, super old. And then...
even your grandma would be like, that's a little lame.
That sucks. So Teddy then, he fails to impress the one twin. And then we see where Jimmy, he's kind of like doing okay with like the other twin.
Somehow.
Then we see where Trish is walking Rob out, and she's kind of like hitting on him. She's like, so like, where are you going and where are you staying and like, what are you doing later? And he's like, I'm staying in a tent looking for bears.
Let me know if you see any.
Let me know.
Shoot a flare if you see one.
So
I'll come running.
Then we get this great scene where Teddy and Jimmy are in the kitchen, and Teddy throughout this whole movie has been calling Jimmy a dead fuck, right?
Well, that's what the old computer said.
The computer said. And at one point, Teddy has his hand like through his pants, and this is probably one of my favorite line deliveries in this too. Teddy thinks he's funny. He thinks that's a funny thing he's doing.
He thinks that's a funny thing he's doing. Is one of my favorite lines in this movie.
It's so good.
I think that's funny. He thinks it's a funny thing he's doing.
So then we see where Paul starts dancing with a twin. And
what a shit.
Paul is also the only one taken for anyone that
he's the only one in a relationship. So he starts dancing with the twin, and of course Sam gets upset. She runs off. She's upset. But I think it's like rightfully so.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah. He crossed the line.
Yeah. So she runs outside.
What did he do that for? It's not like they had like some kind of a problem in their relationship that was established.
Right.
She's like cruelly just starts dancing with some strange girl that he just met.
Yeah.
In front of his girlfriend. She's like, I think it's getting a little close in here. And he's like, yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
He backhands her.
It's not like he's drunk. They literally brought a 24-pack for a whole weekend.
Of course.
So, of course.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. And Teddy then gets upset because Paul's dancing with the twin he was talking to. Mm-hmm. And then Jimmy's like, yeah, why don't you suggest running through your little computer?
I love that line.
I love that line too.
Yes.
Jimmy is like, good. Crispin Glover is outstanding.
Their dynamic is fun.
Yeah, it really is.
Even though the characters are not, they don't really have a lot of depth, they're all interesting and fun. They're fun characters. This is like a fucked up John Hughes movie.
Yeah. And Crispin Glover is just like the comic relief ish in it. But we see where Sam runs off. So she runs off. She's upset. And what is the first thing you guys would do if you were upset at the lake?
Take my clothes off and skinny dip.
Yeah, I was gonna say same thing.
Mike and I do that after work sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah.
During work.
During work.
And there's not even a lake.
We just like take our clothes off and pretend we're swimming.
There's like this puddle.
We throw water at each other.
Yeah.
A group of
For the record, people typically start drinking more. So we are helping the business.
Yeah.
Supporting business.
There's just like this
Three Jack's Burger Bar.
Yeah. There's a corner out on the road and it's just filled like a huge puddles there, and you two just hop in.
Yeah.
Start
You've
swimming.
seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, sort of like Death Spa, you know, when they're
Oh,
playing.
right. Yeah. You guys are just splashing each other.
Oh, stop it. You stop. You're getting me wet.
So we see, she goes skinny dipping and she jumps into a raft and she ends up getting taken out by Jason. And it's a pretty rough death where he stabs her through the raft, like the bottom of the raft up through the back. And I was like, ooh, that's...
You think about his feet underneath just paddling really hard so he can hold
so
that.
Can,
he's like holding her down and stabbing up. And his feet have just got to be paddling.
Yeah.
Which would be funny to see.
Yes, really.
Hey, I heard that in
he has
real...
little swimmers on.
I heard in real life that water, and you can tell that this is true when Paul gets into the water. I heard it's super goddamn cold.
Oh yeah.
And like when Paul gets into the water later, it's like he's just like the whole way through. So I guess they had the actress that played Sam. I forget what her name is. It's something. Yeah. She's an actress, but I guess they had her out on that raft for like a really long time, and she was like freezing to death. And the director's just like, another take, keep going. So Ted White, who's in the Jason getup this time around, was just like, if you don't get her out of that fucking boat, I'm gonna quit. And he stood up for her. And that's Ted White. And I also heard that he also worked on Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ted White?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
another
what a legend.
Monster
he was a
of the
John
water.
Wayne stunt double.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
So he's a stand-up guy, and that's not a shot at the director per se. I'm sure he was probably just sort of like, I need to get my stuff. I don't know,
but it is. He treated them like trash.
Oh well, then
the budget was too low, so they couldn't have stunt doubles. So he made all those kids do their own stunts. Ted White actually asked for his name removed from the credits because of how poorly they were treated.
Oh.
Yeah, she got hypothermia from that. Yeah.
Shit.
Well, that director is not welcome on Freakquels.
Yeah. Doug actually hit his head in the shower. Yeah, a bunch of those kids actually got hurt while doing stuff.
Wow.
Holy shit. That's crazy. I did not know that.
Just facts.
Yeah, just facts. But Ted White is an outstanding Jason. I actually really like.
He's one of my tops.
Yep.
Yeah, CJ Graham's probably one of my favorites.
I always go back to 4 and 6.
But yeah, we see where she gets taken out by Jason. Then Paul has a quick change of heart, and it comes out of like nowhere. They're just like dancing. He goes, "You know what? This doesn't feel right."
Is it when she takes his hat? And he's like, "Only one girl wears my hat," and then he runs out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it would have been like if he like kissed her, and then he was like, "Oh, this doesn't feel right." Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if I was directing it, I'd be like, "Okay, kiss," and that's what your change.
I like she goes in to kiss him, and he's just like,
"Wait a second,
I can't
yeah,
do it."
Yeah."
Have him be like
have that moment, yeah.
Rather than just have it happen for no reason.
He's just like,
how many different takes do you think they did? And then they were just like, okay, you can just do it.
Go. Yeah, just get out of here.
Get this over with.
So he runs off and to find Sam, and so the twin, she ends up going up to Jimmy and asking for a slow dance, and they're slow dancing, kind of hitting it off, and that's when she's like, "Hey, why don't we go upstairs?" And meanwhile, we see Paul. He finds Sam on the raft, but he goes to swim out to her, and as he swims out, we see where Jason shows up. Well, he sees that she's dead in the raft, and he's like, "Oh!" And so he starts to swim back, and that's when Jason shows up, and he kind of harpoons him in the crotch.
Yep.
And he lifts him in the air. I'm like,
yeah.
That's gotta be so painful, just in general. I don't know, just like to have all your weight on like one thing like that. Oh,
Not at center of gravity either.
Right.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, oh.
You know what? Actually, that would have been more appropriate, that death, if maybe he and the girl actually like hooked up.
Right. Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh God, what did I do?" And then that's his punishment.
Yeah.
Getting the old harpoon in the junk.
Well, I think his punishment is: have you ever gone into water in jeans? He's wearing jorts.
Yeah.
You ever want to chafe your wiener? Get your jeans wet.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Hell of a shoot. Hell of a shoot.
Joe's facts.
Joe's facts.
And I've tried it.
So Teddy finds old footage, and he's like, "You know what? Let's hook up this projector and start playing it."
Got an old stag film.
Yeah. So he starts playing this movie on the projector, and Terry, the twin, asks her sister if she wants to go, and Tina, who's up in the bedroom with Jimmy at this point, yells to her, "Take an umbrella." And I'm like,
Take
wow,
an umbrella.
Yeah. And I'm like, what a like caring sister.
I know.
She's like, just leave or whatever. But I love outside Terry.
She's not scared for her because she knows that Rob's out there taking care of all the bears.
True.
Yeah.
Outside, Terry calls out, "You slut." And I love that line and the delivery and everything. But it's like pouring and it's raining and there's like lightning going off. And this is like my favorite death in the movie is as she's about to get onto her bike, there's a flash of lightning and we see like a pole go like right into her back or whatever. And we only see like the silhouette on the house of what happens. I was like, what a cool, that's like my favorite death.
It's like something out of like Nosferatu.
Yeah, it's like it has an older
like
kind
German
of
expressionism sort of thing.
I really loved it. And so we see that, but I wish they didn't do like the follow-up scene, and I don't know why they did this, but it was like when they show her getting slammed against the house. I was like, oh man, like we had the perfect image to know that she's dead, right? And I felt like that was just like a weird, excessive, not really needed thing where you just see her body get thrown against the house.
Are you implying this movie's gratuitous?
No. I just wish I just wish they didn't have that scene. Sure. You know what I mean? Because I felt like it played out so great.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways.
Subtlety is not this movie's strength.
So inside, Sarah asks Doug to share the bottom bunk. They're like downstairs. They're on the couch. She's like, "Hey, do you want to go upstairs and go to sleep?" And he's like, "It would have been funny if he's
like, nah."
Yeah.
I'm not tired. I'm watching this stag film right now.
I like the top bunk.
Yeah.
And then she's like, we could share the bottom bunk. He's like, oh, right. And so...
what if she had to just explain that to him? Because she's like, oh, you sleep in the bottom bunk? He's like, but you're sleeping in the bottom bunk. She's like, no. I mean, like, sleep in the bottom bunk. He's like, I know what you're saying.
And I don't want to sleep in the top bunk.
It's going to be crowded.
No, this is Patrick.
No. So then we see where she's like, give me a minute and come up. So he's like, okay. And he's all excited. Meanwhile, we see where Mrs. Jarvis comes home and the power is out. And she's walking around. She's like trying to, yell for Tommy and Trish, but no one's answering. And then we see where she goes outside and she is startled. And it's safe to assume that she gets killed. So this is a case where they didn't show, like something where...
I thought that one was a little bit more surprising because I did notice that too. Because they showed the body getting slammed after the perfect kill.
Right.
This one, they just leave it...
like open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why couldn't you just flip it? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Or like show her get slammed? I don't know. It was like...
Sam was even asking me about it. She's like, so does the mom's death count in the 13? I was like, oh, I assume.
Yeah.
But, right, they don't show
it. Yeah. Or allude to
Yeah, she's just shocked. You
yeah.
assume.
All I know is that look on her face, very reminiscent of the first time that I saw Rise of Skywalker. Oh. Happy anniversary, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Got him.
So inside, we see. First, we cut over to Tommy and Trish, and they just get home, but they can't find their mom. So Trish is like, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna go look around outside," and that's when she comes across Nomad Rob's tent, and he almost kills her. Like he stabs through the tent. She's like, "What the hell, man? Like, are you trying to kill me?" He's like, "Oh, sorry. I
thought you were a bear."
I thought you were a bear.
Well, he was a little bit more alert because earlier he heard a sound, and then he ran to go see it, but then Jason went back to his tent
and left him a broken harpoon.
Broke his rifle. But the cut was very weird.
Was that what that was? Was a broken rifle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But like the cut was really weird because Rob's doesn't seem to be that far away from his tent when he notices Jason showing up at his campsite. But then all of a sudden, next scene, Jason's completely gone and his tent is kind of disheveled. I'm like, wasn't it like 20 feet away? I don't know.
It didn't play out.
I guess
really
you had to buy into it, I guess.
Yeah. So then we see where they have this interaction. Meanwhile, Jimmy is asking Tina if he was good. Like, am I a dead fuck? And she goes, no, you're like, incredible, actually, she says.
That was great.
Yeah. That's my favorite, is when so he goes downstairs to brag to Teddy, and he's like, he has like her garments, right? And he's like, run that through your computer.
Got him again.
Yeah.
Jimbo, 3 on the board.
And then Jimmy's like, all right, man. And Teddy's like actually like kind of pumped for him.
As much as he could be, considering how high he was.
Exactly. And then we see, he's like, that was great. Like the way he delivers that is like outstanding.
Yeah.
Only Crispin Glover ish. So then to celebrate, Jimmy is like, you know what? I'm gonna drink some wine. So he goes into the kitchen. He's looking for the corkscrew, but unfortunately, he gets slashed through the face by Jason.
Not before he says one of my favorite lines. He's like, "Where's the fancy corkscrew?"
And I love how he he keeps his mouth open when he's like, "Where's the fancy corkscrew?"
Yeah.
I think that was a Tom Savini suggestion.
Was it really?
I don't know. I'm just saying of the things because the next thing he gets slashed in the face.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know.
The only thing that ruined that moment was when you heard the one Doublemint twin go, "Where's my underwear?"
Oh no.
So I was thinking, and again, I know you have to just buy in, but this is a very small cabin. The kitchen is right next to this room that Teddy Bear is in, and the upstairs is also very small. But all these things are happening simultaneously, and no one can hear anything. Where's the corkscrew? You know, Doug is singing Tangerine in the shower, like, but everyone is just like,
well, Teddy's listening to a very loud silent film.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe the projector was like loud.
Loud humming.
Okay, so there's that, but it's still.
But still, no, yeah. So we see upstairs. Tina is looking. So Tina's like getting dressed upstairs, and the twin, and she.
I thought I came here with underwear.
Yeah, she looks out the window 3 times in a row. It's very awkward. Like she like looks out, and then she like looks out again, and then she's like, all right, now I'm looking out for the final time. And that's when Jason grabs her and then throws her out the window, and she falls to her death on top of the car.
Now they would hear that.
But no one heard it.
But no one heard that. Yeah. But I thought the order is weird because Jason kills someone in the kitchen with the corkscrew. Then he goes upstairs. I guess he goes outside to the second floor, grabs her.
Outside. Right, yeah.
From the outside, throws her to the car. Then he's like, all right, I'm going to go back downstairs and now kill the projection. Teddy.
Yeah.
But I was like, why wouldn't he just go, like, kitchen Teddy upstairs or something? You know what I mean? But I was like, all right, whatever. Jason, you do you.
Yeah.
Suspense, EJ.
Yeah. But I did think it was, like, funny that Tina was probably, like, getting direction. Like, look out the window. She's, like, looking out the window. Look out the window again, but, like, more. All right. And then she like turns away and they're like, no. Keep looking out the window.
I noticed that a lot of slasher movies, especially during the 80s, there's a lot of people just looking around at things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. They're just always like walking through a room, like looking around, calling someone's name.
Yeah.
Paul?
Rob? Uncle?
This isn't funny.
Buzz?
Buzz?
So Rob tells Trish he's hunting for actually Jason Voorhees and is back at Crystal Lake. He's like, I think he's back. There's 2 people missing from the hospital. I think it's because of him, and I'm pretty sure he's back up at the lake right now.
He killed his sister?
Yeah.
Who was Sandra from Friday the 13th 2.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
The girl got harpooned or speared in the bed?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Who cares,
so,
right?
Yeah, who cares? So they rush back to go get Tommy, who's alone in the house without power right now. Meanwhile, Sarah and Doug, which is discount Jared Leto, discount Rablo, and they hook up, and they're in the shower, and they're kind of like hooking up in the shower,
having some St. Elmo's fire.
Oh yeah, they are. Wow. St. Elmo. So I can feel the thing burning.
You can't stop now.
And so downstairs, Teddy, we see he's watching the movies, and he gets stabbed through the head, and like right through the screen into the head. And I'm like, oh no, they ruined that beautiful screen.
I know.
So this is the one. You said he was a great actor for looking stoned. He was stoned, so he decided that since my character is smoking, I'm going to actually smoke pot while they're filming. And then it got to a point where he actually was too stoned and got too paranoid that it made filming the scene really, really difficult. So, like, I don't know if there was supposed to be more, but Joseph Zito, the director, was very upset with how everything went down for that kill.
Wow.
See, I disagree. I think there's something, because you see him smoking at a point in the movie, but he literally looks like he's high, and then he just gets killed. And I think it plays fine.
I think it works really well as a viewer, but apparently the shooting of it was.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it was probably
because the actor was paranoid, where he couldn't really. He actually was afraid of Jason. Like,
really?
He actually, and Ted White intentionally did not talk with any of the actors because he wanted to keep the element of that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Except when he stood up for Sam.
Yeah, I think there was a certain point. Right. Also, internet.
That's
facts.
awesome.
Who wrote what?
I know, that's the thing. A lot of these facts are just like, they all kind of contradict. Right? Yeah. I don't know.
So Sarah gets out of the shower, and Doug stays behind to sing a little bit of Tangerine, and or St. Elmo's Fire.
What does he say to her? He's like, I think I'm something, and she's like, I think I'm in love.
I'm in heaven. I think I'm in heaven.
I think I'm in heaven. She's like, I think I'm in love, and he's just like, what?
Listen to me sing.
I just wanted that what to play differently.
Yeah.
She's like, I think I'm in love. What? I'm gonna be on the top bunk tonight.
And as he's singing this song, I guess it's Jason's least favorite song.
Yeah.
So Jason crushes his head like a tangerine, freshly squeezed.
That would have been cool if, like, when he was singing and he crushed his head, he's just like, you crushed it.
You crushed it. Yeah. Nailed it.
That's when Jason needs one-liners.
Yeah. And then Sarah finishes drying her hair.
Sort of.
Unsuccessfully.
Yeah,
Unsuccessfully. And I was like...
Low voltage out there.
Yeah. Last night I said to Robin, I was like, did she dry her hair? Because it was still like soaking wet.
That was very Chandler Bing of you.
Yeah, I know.
Be any more dry?
Could it be any drier? So then we see where Sarah finds Doug dead, and she tries to run out, but gets an axe to the chest. Like, she gets all the way downstairs to the front door, and through the front door, the axe hits her like thrown at her through the door and hits her right in the chest.
And again, one-liner. I need to ask you a question.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you in love? Because it's...
I gotcha.
That's his... What, is that what she said?
Yeah, walk it off, EJ.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Damn. So at the Jarvis home, Trish and Rob get there, and Trish tries to use the phone, but Jason just rips
on the phone.
Yeah, Jason's on the phone.
On the other line.
Hang up, I'm on the phone.
I'm talking to someone.
Mom, I'm on the phone. So no, he
Jason,
rips
get off the phone.
I'm using it, Ma. So Trish,
or like she picks up the phone and it kicks him off the computer, like he's on America Online.
He's like, oh, come on.
Remember that?
I'm gonna kill these people. So Jason cuts the line, like he rips the phone box off the wall.
It has like no wires.
Yeah, it's not connected or anything. It's just
I was like thinking about
that
last night. There's like, it's not connected to anything.
Yeah.
It's just like a prop that they stuck to the wall.
He's also very aware of where all these things are, too. Like, right
it's
in
efficient.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Trish gets the idea to go next door to use their phone. And she's like, okay, Rob, me, you, and Gordon the whimpering dog will go. So Rob heads to the basement.
Oh, wait, that dog is leading them, though.
Right. Yeah.
That dog is doing a really good job acting.
Yeah. No, it's a really good dog actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rob, they get to the house. He's like, oh, no, he's here. And because they see like the front door is like busted a little bit.
Also says Jason was here.
Yeah, misspelled. Yeah. And then as they're looking around, he goes to the basement of this house, and whimpering Gordon, the dog, runs off upstairs and just commits suicide. Like it just runs upstairs, and then for some reason, Gordon the dog just jumps out the window.
Yeah, he just eats. He's just like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm out of here. He just completely, like, yeeted himself from the situation.
Have you seen this guy?
I think it was confirmed the dog isn't dead, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it was confirmed. And you know what? Even if that's not true, I like to believe that it's true. That dog went off.
Gordon, he was a survivor. You saw that he just constantly...
Yeah, he left his master to die.
Yeah, he just left them. Like, he just ran off.
See, they should have made, like, a spin-off movie with that dog, how he has to, like, live with the shame of, like, leaving his family to die.
It's called Air Bud.
And all that. Okay, yeah.
So Trish goes upstairs to look for him, and that's when she comes across a very dead Doug.
Dead Doug.
And she runs to the basement to tell Rob, a.k.a. who takes the script sides as dialogue. And Jason pins him to the wall, and he yells as he's getting stabbed.
He's killing me, Trish! Oh my God!
Run!
He's killing me!
I'm sliding down the wall. Trish, run!
It's dark in the basement, and he's killing me.
Out of my mouth.
Period. Oops! Exclamation mark.
Parenthetical.
So, he tells her to run away, but she just goes home and asks Tommy. She's like, "Hey, just let's start boarding up the door. Get me some nails and a hammer." So he's like, "Sure." So they get the door. They shut the door. They start hammering nails into the door.
Ben from Night of the Living Dead would have had that place boarded up real quick.
Oh, real quick. Yeah. But they didn't even put like boards up. They're just like hammered into like the side of the door, and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna do anything.
And it's a good thing those are all single pane windows everywhere in that friggin' house.
I also like how there's like that one shot where like there's a lot of excess frame to the right, so you know something's coming through the window.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of negative space.
And I know what you're talking about now that you pointed it out, but I did not think about it when I saw it.
Oh yeah.
Instead of like running away, like, you know, the guy that just died said, she like literally just goes to the house and doesn't bother to grab Tommy and go into the perfectly working car now.
I was gonna say,
there's a couple cars. Yeah, there's a couple cars there.
Options.
There's a couple options, but she's like,
and 2 bikes.
Let's nail ourselves and and 2 bicycles.
That'd been so awesome if they were just pedaling away from Jason and he was just chasing after them. Or if Jason was chasing after them on a bike.
Oh yeah, they're running and he's on the bike.
Ding ding.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. So Jason easily busts through the front door, and like he doesn't even. It's not like he kicks the door open.
He
like
Kool-Aid Man's through the door.
Yeah, he basically is like, oh yeah, like right through the door.
Right. Yeah.
And
it's an awesome entrance. You know? I would do that every goddamn day of my life if I could do it.
Yeah, I would too. I would just be like,
show up at a funeral like that.
Oh my God.
Make it all about me.
Someone you don't even know too. Just make it real.
The funeral home's like, what did you do? They're like, oh man, are you okay? And you're like, yeah, it hurt a lot. Guys over here, no, stop saying your prayers over that person.
Stop what you're doing over there.
The widow's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
I need attention.
I need you over here. Can I get some ice? So Jason easily busts through the front door, and he chases them upstairs to Tommy's room, where Trish tries to use the computer and smash it over Jason's head like he was like Stu Macher. It just goes, but it does knock him out. Like, so Jason like falls to the ground, and she's like, okay, Tommy, let's go. So they leave the room, and as she's walking by him, he reaches out and grabs her leg, and that's when Trish tells Tommy to run away. She's like, run away. And she's like, I'll lure him to the summer house. And when people tell the Jarvis family to run, they don't.
He's like, I have to shave my head first.
Yeah. Tommy, instead, finally decides to cut his hair that his mom's been on him about. Anyways, so he is like, you know what? I'm going to just shave my head. No better time than the now. So Jason, meanwhile, follows Trish back to the summer house and then back to the Jarvis home, and she runs in, and Tommy...
Yeah, really nothing of significance happens from her, like, running into the one house and back to the other house.
Right. Like,
it's just kind of, like, padding.
Time.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she does, like, dive out of a window at one point, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a cool
good
fall.
stunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jason kind of, like, looks out the window. He's like, is she dead? And then she moves. He's like...
I'm going to walk all the way
Jesus
down these
Christ,
friggin' stairs.
She fell on the softest grass possible. Jesus. I do love that stunt, but it is funny because if you look like at the ground when she hits
bounces.
it's like you can definitely tell. There's like some kind of padding there.
I know how they did that.
Yeah. So
Jason's like, of all the places I could have thrown her.
So he follows her back to the Jarvis house, and she's like, Tommy, I told you to run away.
I know. She's over today.
Yeah. And Tommy confuses Jason by coming downstairs and showing off his haircut. This allows Trish to get a little sneak attack in that knocks Jason's mask off. Because up until that point, he's like, "Remember, Jason, remember."
What's the deal with that? Is Jason confused? Is he like, am I talking to me?
No, I think
or is it just kind of like, oh.
I think he's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?
Yeah, look at that stupid haircut.
Well, see,
sucks.
Earlier, Corey Feldman, out of the movie, had watched Friday the 13th Part 2 or 3, where the mom is there and distracts him. So Corey Feldman understood that all I got to do is act like either him or his mom.
That's all right.
And Jason's just so stupid that he doesn't realize that he's not him.
Jason's dumb. Yeah.
Him?
He's a dumb piece of shit.
What a bastard.
Yeah.
Michael Myers wouldn't be caught in such an embarrassing act.
So this allows Trish to get a sneak attack, and it knocks off the mask.
And
we see
awesome.
Jason's face, and it's awesome.
So fucking cool looking.
To see like the adult version of what Tom Savini did to Ari Lehman's character.
Tom Savini just, from this point on, by the way, some of my favorite stuff in any slasher film ever.
Tom Savini's work in this movie is fantastic, and his whole like the machete hitting him in the back of the head, and how he falls on the machete, and how that looks
so awesome.
Yes, it is.
It's
that
incredible.
is like the coolest thing in a slasher movie is Jason sliding down that machete.
Yep.
It looks awesome. And then as that happens, we see, Tommy has the machete, and he sees Jason's hand move just like a little bit, like twitch, and then he just pushes his sister aside, and he just starts hacking. He's like, die, and he's just hacking away at Jason with the machete, and then it cuts to the hospital, and we see where,
as these movies tend to.
Yes, because they do it in like the first one, they did it in part 4, they do it in part 5. So they're in the hospital, and Trish is asking about her brother. She's like, "Oh, is he gonna be okay?" And the doctors are like,
"That kid's fucked."
Yeah, everything will be okay. Your brother's not gonna be creepy at all.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Can I see him?" They're like, "Yeah, only shortly though." And there he is, standing in the doorway. By the way, to his credit, what a great silhouette! Like, what a great use of your body in film. Like, it just looks so creepy, like the way he's standing there, and it's off kilter. Like, I don't know if it's the director's like, "Hey, stand something like this, where you don't look like you're normal."
Yeah.
He looks very odd.
Yep.
And
well, I think they were trying to imply that Jason's violence would have passed down to Tommy.
Right.
As trauma. So
Yeah.
I think they were trying to do something with that.
Yes.
The silhouette of the new monster. But it's ruined by the two doctors in the hallway that are pointing and laughing at his haircut.
They're like, "What a fucking loser."
You see that kid?
But he goes
I'm
up,
glad his family's dead.
and he hugs his sister, and
He has
that's
a
when
hurt
he
shoulder. That's why she needs to rest.
Yeah. And he hugs the sister, and it just ends on a freeze frame of him having a this staring off cold look,
million-mile stare.
Yeah. And it's awesome, and that's how the movie ends. And I love this movie. I think it's great. It's definitely one of the high points in the series, for sure. Maybe I think collectively fans would say 4 or 6 are probably their favorites.
Yeah. Agreed.
How do you feel about this movie, Mike?
Yeah, it's my favorite in the franchise. I can watch it over and over. It has a lot to do with the cast because as the horror franchise, a fan of that, I love knowing the story already, but I love getting into this movie, and it's just Jason is here, he's gonna fuck some shit up, and here's the cast to make that happen.
Yeah.
And it just I love watching that happen.
Yeah. No, it's great. How about you, Roy?
How most people have this thing in their head of what a slasher movie is before they see one. This is the quintessential slasher movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
All the kills in it are awesome. It's
yes.
and as I was saying earlier in the episode, all the cuts really help have those scenes have like the murders have like a real hard impact, right? I think this is the best Friday the 13th film as like a slasher movie, and then we talk about 6 being the other favorite. 6 to me is just like a genuinely good movie.
Yeah,
but because it really is like it really good. Works more than you realize if you haven't seen it.
Kevin Williamson said that's the movie that inspired him to write Scream, because it was like a good mixture of like comedy but also horror.
Too bad we'll never cover it. But anyway, I would just say it is a great example of like, you know, what a slasher movie can be. You know, it's like they're not. It's not like artistic and stylish like Halloween, for example. Right. But it's just kind of like, you know, this is just trash done on an expert level.
Yes.
You know, because there is like something very like specific and neat about this movie. I've seen it like a lot, and honestly, I'm gonna be very truthful with both of you. When I was a child, I had an older brother. You know, I think he's like 11 years older than me, and I think he thought it would just be funny to give me a VHS tape that had Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, and some weird version of Dracula that Elvira hosted. If anybody knows what this is, please let me know, because I don't remember. But the opening of Friday the 13th 2, it's one of my one of my earliest memories that I have. So I have like a real weird place in my heart for this movie. I really, really, really enjoy it. And when we were all watching in a theater, I was just having like I don't know, a thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's really cool. It's a great representation of the Jason character.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is definitely probably my third favorite, I would say, out of the whole.
Because you like 5, 6, and 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly my top 3. Yeah. I love part 5 is my absolute favorite, and I think people are coming around to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome, because I feel like I feel justified a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Because that's one of those movies like you feel like you just defend it to people,
right?
And you know.
And
now, it's like it is trash. It really is like a gross movie. There's something about it where you're. Well, I guess it was also made by like a porn director. That also probably helps with its aesthetic and that whole feeling of needing to go like shower afterwards when you watch it. But it is elevated trash.
It is, and it is like you're saying, having that resurgence of people coming around to it, sort of like the Halloween 3 sort of thing, where like the long Italian people were like, "Oh, Halloween 3 sucks. Why is it part of the franchise?" But like, it is a good movie,
right?
Are you know, so this is a weird thing about Halloween 3, and then we'll get into emojis. Halloween 3, I'll pose you with this: arguably the second best in the franchise, not necessarily your favorite, because when you think about it, Halloween 3 is the most original of the sequels, right?
Right.
So it's like bringing something new to the table. It keeps like the whole like Halloween aesthetic in place, and it was a real balls to the wall type of movie. It's not necessarily my favorite sequel, because I have other ones that I grew up with that are just like the nostalgia glasses are on very firmly. Yeah. But Halloween 3, I think if I were to just put the whole franchise under a microscope, I think it probably is the one I think is the second best in the franchise.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I love Halloween 3. I think it's amazing, and I don't know where I would rank it.
I know.
Because I love Halloween 4.
Let's just talk about like, again, trying not to be emotional about it.
Yeah.
Just think of it like you're watching the franchise, and most of them are kind of the same thing redone.
Absolutely.
So this one is its own thing. It has its own score. It's got that dark, very like
I love that
interesting Halloween night vibe to it.
It's
one of the strongest endings to any horror movie I've ever seen.
Yes, absolutely.
And so like maybe not your favorite, as I said, like not my favorite. Like I would say my favorite sequel to the Halloween movies is 4.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I think 3 might fall into a better movie just because it is, in fact, an original film.
Yeah. And I think that was like my argument always with why I liked Halloween Ends a lot.
Yeah, me
just
too.
Felt so
I totally know what you mean.
fresh to the series.
Yeah.
And I understand Halloween fans not liking it because it's not Michael Myers, but I would put it with like Halloween 3 in that sense. What everything you're saying, it's like a fresh new take on it. It's just I wish they stuck to their guns a little bit with like some stuff, but yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like Halloween 2, and that's the thing. Like I feel like Halloween 5 or Friday the 13th Part 5 is kind of fresh in a way, not really, but it is fresh-ish. But it's like a new take, and it's pretty interesting because they could have done that with Rob and have Rob be the killer at the end, because that would have been in this movie.
Motherfucker's built like Superman.
I know. He,
yeah.
But he shows up and he's kind of like, I'm hunting for bears, and he starts asking about the teenagers. So if there was like a turn where he takes off the mask and it's just him the whole time, you're like, oh wow, what a crazy reveal.
Yeah.
At that time.
You know what would have been real badass? If like, like the whole movie's like, oh, I'm looking for bears, and Tommy's like, you're not gonna find a fucking bear out here. But then out in the woods, you see like a bear, and he's wearing a hockey mask, and he's just like watching Rob, and he's got like the red eyes burning through the night.
So good.
Oh, let's move on to emojis.
Yeah.
Movie, right?
Yeah. I love it. No, but I was just gonna cap this with like Part 5 is they kind of stick to their guns, showing respect to Part 4 being the final chapter of Jason Voorhees, and then Part 5 being like a serial, a copycat killer.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought I always like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, let's do emojis. Michael, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So I think the listeners will be able to hear this facial thing that I'll do, but I had that face that's going whoa for when Jason gets his mask removed. So just that smiley emoji that's whoa, what I mean.
Oh yeah.
I have the dancing guy, and then I have the 2 dancing girls, and I have a bear. For teddy bear, and the bears in which Rob is hunting.
Ooh, all right. I like
teddy bear. You want to give teddy bear a kiss?
Yeah.
I got some.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
I got a woof.
Perfect.
Right.
For Gordon.
I got a deer, because there was like that weird deer statue thing outside of Higgins Haven.
Mm-hmm.
I got a mousey because there were some mice in the basement. Oh, yeah. The basement where Rob died yelling, "They're killing me! He's killing me!" I got a knife, because there's knives in this movie. If you missed them, then what the fuck?
What were you watching?
I got a hockey goal net thingy, whatever it's called. I got a hockey stick and a puck, keeping the hockey theme going.
Good.
And then I got a bear too.
All right.
How about you?
I just have 3. I have a tent for our buddy Rob the bear hunter, and then I have 2 twins, and then a film projector.
There you
go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's a cool scene.
Yeah, man.
I always liked how the film like rolls off, and he's like, "Whoa," and
it's awesome.
It's so good. But with that being said, all right, let's get into plugs.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got over there, Mike?
All right. Well, I got some prep to this time. NEPA Movie Mania Facebook group. We're all part of it. FREAKQUELS is part of it. Join it if you like movies and talking about movies. That's a good group for that. We got group showings.
I hope you lift the ban on me soon.
We won't. Shantytown Design is my company that I own with my wife. We are a marketing and web design company. Come to us, shantytowndesign.com.
A power couple.
That's we try, and I think we're pretty successful.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to plug is the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Roller Derby that Sam, my wife, is now part of again.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Is she like a dirt? Like she actually plays?
Yeah. She's so she's going through she took some time off and now she's back in, so she's working her way back up to the team.
Wait, wait, because what's her name on the team?
Helvetica.
Oh my God, that's
good
great.
Name.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
I have a friend. I'll have to ask her if she knows her. Natalie. she's Rainbow.
Oh, so yes, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
Okay.
So I also, when we first moved out back here to Pennsylvania, I was also doing derby with her, and I was gonna do a skating official. That's what I was practicing for. At a certain point, we both kind of fell off from doing that, and then I'm not going back, but she is now back, and so yes, Rainbow. What did you say her? Natalie.
Yeah.
Yes. I think she was part of the practices that I was at.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I've gone to a couple of her, bouts and stuff. Yeah. And so that's so funny. What a small world. I don't know if Sam was there when
Probably
the last
not.
couple times I went, but
not,
yeah. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a small world.
That's very cool.
That's cool.
I got some plugs.
Let's hear them.
I got Raven View Productions as per usual.
What's going on with that place?
Oh, don't you worry, guys. That's going to be blown up soon because I got some stuff cooking, and I'm very excited about it. Nice. I'm not going to start telling you what it is, Never mind.
This is a Raven View production.
This is also a Raven View production.
Yeah.
You guys don't realize this, but it is, in fact, Raven View Productions. When I sync my phone up in my car, it'll give me the name of the episode, and it says Raven View Productions. So that's proof, because some of you are right now calling me a liar, and I don't appreciate it. We got Fourth Cut Reviews. That is a review something or other channel.
Yes.
Run by our keyboard warrior friend.
Yes.
Chris Conforti. You could check out his business.
The ultimate keyboard warrior.
Yeah, man. NEPA Horror Fest coming up in October.
Woohoo.
Check out the ladies of the Nightmare on Elm Street reunion, or whatever you'd call it.
That's right. Yeah, that was it.
We got Variant Season. Our buddy Will Perna, crushing it in the music scene, putting together some fantastic rock music. Gravy Diggers.
Yeah.
Pot pie that will kill you. I got Real Chronicles. It's a friend of the show, Dave Gonzalez. You can actually catch me on the show for the next 2 months. We're going to be covering all horror movies throughout the month of September and October, and they generally post on Sunday. Dave and that whole group, Jack, they know their shit about movies, and it's really fun to listen to them just talk. So check out Real Chronicles. And then, of course, what it all comes down to, what this is all about, kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue. We rescue kitties on this show. We don't mistreat them, and nor should you. Anyone out there listening, if you are looking to do anything negative towards cats, we will find you, and we will mess you up with a baseball bat. But point is, you can go out and you can adopt yourself a cat, a stud, and just have it walk around your house. You can feed them, you can pet them, and then when you're feeling stressed out, sad, anything, that cat will come over to you and it'll lick your face, it'll lay on your chest, it'll be your best fucking friend. So don't waste any more goddamn time. Adopt a cat, or you could just give some cats who need some food. You can donate your time, get them some food, get them into college. Get them on the good path.
He's going to be a soccer player.
He's going to be a soccer player. They could be anything they want if they have your help. Just right before I finish this plug, go on Google. I'll wait. Look up a picture of some kittens. Hold on. Are you doing it?
Yeah, that one right there.
Right there. That one right there could be yours.
That's
go on NEPA. Kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue website. I'll wait. But yeah, look them up, and that's all the plugs I have today, you bastards.
Dude, loved it. Yeah, so I would like to do a couple plugs. We got
no time.
We're out of time. So it's funny because I'm pretty sure you guys covered mostly all my top ones. But Three Jacks Burger Bar, of course, home of the best cheeseburger. I think that's your slogan now.
It is.
Yeah.
We make burgers here is the new slogan.
Yeah, we make burgers here. We make them.
Eat them.
Eat them. We make them, you eat them. Also, check out Adam Farley's music on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes.
And OnlyFans.
Check out the song Carson Song, which is great. It's written for his son. Also, check out Crystal Lou. His music you can find on Spotify and iTunes. It's outstanding. Kind of has like a Billy Joel kind of vibe.
I would say Ben Folds.
Ben Folds.
I don't even know what the fuck
Ben Folds. And then you mentioned that band, and also New Metal Messiah, Jon Snow, the ETC Collective.
Metal Messiah, Jon Snow.
And guys, you can check out his
Winter's
Facebook.
coming.
You can, yeah. That's it. You should just say that at every show. So you can check out his Facebook and the ETC Collective, and also Instagram. And he's in a bunch of different bands, all kind of like new metal era. So if you like Limp Bizkit, Korn, System of a Down, any of those types of bands, Marilyn Manson,
Avril Lavigne,
New Metal
Messiah. So check him out, and I'm telling you, if you get to see a live show, it's gonna be one of the best experiences of all time.
Like if you're like a front man and you think you're pretty good, he's gonna make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Metal Messiah.
He's gonna make you go home and just cry yourself in the shower.
You're gonna be like, I need a new gig.
I need to do something with my life.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. Also check out FREAKQUELS Instagram, Facebook, and make sure to rate and review us on Applecast and Spotify. If you guys want to give us like 5 stars, that's awesome. And then you hate us, just tell us in the review. Be like, these guys suck. I hate EJ. I hate Young Vince. I hate Rory.
Yeah, hate us all.
Do it. Yeah, hate us all equally.
And if you leave a review, remember, EJ is going to dance.
Yes. Yeah.
Bang Bang Leeson.
Bang Bang Leeson, the milkman.
You demand it, we'll give it.
When's the last time you checked our emails, by the way?
Oh, jeez, it's been a dog's age.
Because it's funny because I meant to ask you that because I was like, have you checked our emails lately to see if we had? Yeah, I haven't checked our reviews in a bit.
It's okay.
I'm sure we got more, but so
next episode we're gonna
start
doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, but talking about emails, if you guys want to email us any questions, concerns, suggestions. You want to really get to know Rory and intimately, he will answer all your emails.
I know.
And send you photos and just give you updates on his private life.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you things you can't unlearn.
Yeah. So
nothing
email
weird,
us.
Though.
Nothing weird. Just mostly all simple stuff.
Yeah.
But so
shit about dolphins.
FREAKQUELpodcast@gmail.com. Email us there and hit us up, guys. And I'm sure one of these days Rory will check the email.
One of these days.
And we will answer your questions and concerns.
Yeah. So we're good. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Yeah. Thank you
for being part of the FREAKQUELS family over here.
Yeah. For the 4th time.
This is my
third time.
Yes.
And final time.
That's right.
But,
this episode did not go well.
The final chapter.
I forgot to read it before.
No, honestly, thank you for being here. This is like a milestone episode because obviously it's our 1-year anniversary. So we're really, really happy you're here. And thank you for all the hard work you did and setting up our website and just making that happen. And I'm sure everyone listening is very grateful as well. So thank you, Mike, for joining us in our monumental episode, 1-year celebration.
1 year.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey.
FREAKQUELspodcast.com for your merch needs, and you can also submit forms for questions.
Yes, and then today exclusively you could get 2% more.
Added on.
No,
2% added.
No, but we'll special discount for today.
Yeah. Well, it will be on the
weekend.
website. We'll figure out what it is.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
Once you see it on the website, you'll know.
Yeah.
Whatever we tell you right now, we're not going to keep our word.
Not one thing.
Not a thing.
Up 2%. And then
it'll be more like 25% if anything.
No, but we really, really appreciate all the stuff you did, man. It looks awesome. And guys at home, thank you so much for coming every week, listening to us
for a straight year.
Every
Wednesday, we managed to stay on track.
You did it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we try really, really hard to make it happen every single week to get episodes out to you.
Well, we don't try hard.
Rory does, actually.
No. I mean, we don't try
Rory,
on the show.
Rory literally will edit all these episodes. We record on a Wednesday, and he puts all the work in to make sure he hits his deadline every single week. And so Rory gets so much credit for doing all the editing and hard work on that end. Like, dude, it's been such a pleasure to do the show with you. I know it's not like a goodbye show. It's just like a 1 year anniversary. But I have to say and give my appreciation.
Well, all this work was actually done in a sweatshop.
You didn't outsource, did you?
I did. I outsourced. No, thanks, man.
Yeah, no,
thank you. I'm very happy to put these episodes out because I like the every Wednesday. I don't know why Wednesday became the day, but hey, man, whatever, it works.
I think it was just you dropped it right on a Wednesday, like the first episode.
The incredible story.
And the proof is in this episode that you're listening to now, because this is Wednesday the 11th now, and when you're listening to it, it will be Friday the 13th. There's only 2 days that Rory's gonna hustle and get you this episode.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun.
Saint Elmo's fire.
That's from Rocky 5.
Yeah,
that's
the classic.
So no, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in every week. And if you want to be a guest, hit us up. If you listen and you're like, man, I would love to just come and hang out and talk about movies, hit us up. Email us, and we'd love to either promote you guys or whatever you do, and even if you want to come on, hit us up. That would be cool. And
you're welcome to join our sweatshop.
Yep, of course. And then of course, really quick, shout out to young Vince for helping us all the way through, setting up every week and taking stuff down. He really is a beautiful human being.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rest in pieces. But no, shout out to young Vince really quick. And thank you guys at home. And with that being said, thank you for listening to
Whoa! They're killing me! They're killing me! He's killing me! Run, Trent, you're killing me!
Are you there? Are you still there?
They think that's funny. They think that's a funny thing they're doing.
He's killing me still. Are you here? Are you still?
I'm still being killed.
I hope you ran away and got in the car. Bye.
Bye.